Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another topic related to shell script, where we will learn about the cat command, that how we can use cat command in a shell script, what are some set of rules which we are supposed to follow, how we can optimize the code if we are using multiple cat command. Okay, so these all things we are going to discuss in this session. Now, some of you might be familiar with the cat command because in one of our basic sessions we discussed how to use cat command, right? So, in this session, mainly we are going to focus on the specific part for the cat command, okay, using Qshell, okay. So that's why what I'm going to mention, what we are going to do now is we will firstly understand the requirement, then we will see what all files we have for which we are going to use for the demo purpose, and also we'll walk through the data that is present in those demo file. And after clearing the requirement, we will create one script from scratch. Script is quite straightforward, like it's just 2 or 3 line script because it will not take more than that. But the important thing is requirement. Firstly, we will understand requirement scenarios, okay, because once these requirement scenarios are all advantage disadvantage, once you are aware of these things, then you can easily utilize the commands in your actual scenario of the projects. Okay, so yeah, I think now we are good to start with the session practically. So firstly, let's see what all files we are going to use. So for that, we will run one command, work lnk enter, which will open work with object link screen. On this screen, if I do page down, you will see there is one directory. But before moving into the directory, let me show you the file which we are going to use for today. So the direct file name is this. Let me take you to that exact file. There should be one file with abc.txt name, so that we are going to use. Yeah, here it is. So this is the first file that we are going to use for the demo purpose, abc.txt. Now if I take option 5 here, you will see what all the data is present in this file. So you can see test row 1, testing row 1 and through till testing row 25. So this is just a sample data that we have stored in this file. Clear? Post that, if I show you the second file that we are going to use is xxy.txt. In this file, again we have some sample data stored. You can see sample data 1 to sample data 5. So this data is also very important for us in order to understand the scenario that we are going to discuss now. Another file is www and double e. So this is also the file that we will use for just for the demo purpose. Okay, so here also we have stored some sample data. Don't get confused because here you can see sample data 5 is there, and if I show you this file, okay, but yeah, here also, so no problem, like we will understand once we print the data. All right, so we have checked all the files and data that we are going to use for demo. Now it's time to see how we can create the script. So for that, I'll quickly go to my folder or the directory, which is Sharmit, taking option 5 over here. Then we have sharmit.sh file, which is a script file. So in this script file, if I take option 2, you will see it will open the script. But before we start editing it, let me tell you one thing, that this file is executable file. So if you don't know what is executable file, how we can make a file executable, then I would request you to please go and check out the previous session. There we have already discussed in one of our previous session, we have already discussed how to make the shell script executable by using chmod command. So taking option 5 here, 2 here. All right. So in this script, we have kept the multi-line comment, which is like this only, presented by Sharmit session cat and shell script. Okay, fine. So let's start the session. Okay, so what is cat command? Now it's time to understand the meaning or the definition of cat command. So cat command is mainly used to populate the data. So whenever you want to populate the data of a file, then in that case you will utilize the cat command. So some of you may be thinking that for display we use echo. So is it possible to print that file data with echo? Let's see. Because doing learning by doing is very easiest thing, I think, right? So let's try if we can do this or not. abc.txt. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to fetch or display the data of abc.txt file using echo. Pressing F3 for save, F3 again for exit. We'll go to session B. Here we will write qsh and enter. After writing enter, you will see that this screen comes, and here we will put the path. So for that, I'll just simply put /home/sharmit/text sharmit/sharmit.sh and enter. After enter, you can see it just printed the name of the file. So that means if you are using echo with file name, it will simply print it as a text, not the data of that file. Okay. And now some of you may be thinking that if we use dollar symbol as we do with a variable, so is it possible to fetch it? No, it is not. It's because if you try something like this, it will give you this kind of result, which is not correct because you are using the wrong format. Okay. So by doing this, I think it is clear that no, we are not supposed to print the data with the echo command. Instead of that, we will use cat command. So write cat, then here we can put the path of the file or direct file name. So let's say if I want to go with abc.txt, so I can put abc.txt. Pressing F3 for save, F3 again for exit. We'll go to session B, press F9 and enter. And this time you can see it printed the entire data from testing row 1 to testing row 25. Now my question is that this command is case sensitive or not? Let's say if I try to use it like this, so will it work? Yes, it will work because we are not using variable here, right? We are using command. So in case of command, and especially this command, cat command, is working as expected even if you are writing it in capital letters. So it doesn't matter whether you are writing it in capital or small, it will work as expected. Clear. Now second, let's say if I want to print another file that we have already seen, right? So for that, what I will do, I will write cat, then space, and I'll put the full path /home/sharmit and xxy.txt. So what is the difference between the first command and second command? Here we kept the full path, and here we just provide the file name. So if you are directly providing the file name, that means it will look to the home directory, right? And if you are providing the file name, it will look at that particular path. But I always recommend to put complete path whenever you are using file. Okay, although it will also work perfectly, but if let's say if abc.txt is not present in your home directory, then it will give error. Okay, but here we are specifying where it is, right? So in that case, it will not give any kind of error. So let's try what output we are getting from this. So pressing F3 was save and exit, running the script again, and this time you can see firstly it prints the first file data and then second file data. Okay, all right. Now if I talk about order of the data, so let's say if I move this part before after this, so if I press F3 for save and exit and rerun the script, you will see this time the data has been changed, the order of the data, right? And it is expected because we are using the command xxy.txt prior to abc.txt, and that's why it is working. Okay, now let's say if I want to optimize this script more, instead, because suppose I have another third file and I want to run the cat command for multiple files, so is it possible to run it in a same command? Let's see. Yes, it is possible. So I'll simply delete it from here, and now I'll put my second file data here. So okay, let's make it abc.txt because it has more data. That's why only. Otherwise, there is no foundation to put any file name prior. It is up to you. It is up to your requirement. So here I'll put again the path of second file, which is /home/sharmit and xxy.txt. Maybe you are thinking that why we are not using text Sharmit, because that is the directory for script, not for this file. This file is present in /home/sharmit and abc.txt. Okay, so /home/sharmit xxy.txt. Let me copy this, and this time I'll put it again, and this time we will use it for wwe. Okay, pressing F3 for save and exit. We'll move to session B, run the same script again, and this time you can see it provides the 3 file data. from 1 to 10, 1 to 25, then this data, and then this data. Clear? So this is how we can easily utilize cat command with multiple file. I hope this is clear to all of you, and now I'll just quickly show you how we can run the same shell script through CL program. So for that there is one program running shell script using CL. So just simply take DCL, take F4, provide variable name, type, storage length, chgvar, take F4, variable name and script of the file. Then simply use strqsh, provide variable name, and it will work as expected. And let's try to compile it and call it. After call, you can see it is providing the same desired output, right? Because we are just running the same shell script again, but this time we are using CL program for that. Okay, so yeah, I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.